fans, how are we all? So I'm back with a Arty Fun Friday video for you, and what I just showed you there is I'm actually working on one of the layouts in the February Colour Blast Kit Club's kit. Yes. So I'm a subscriber to the new kits coming out by Colour Blast, which is a product or company here in Australia that I thought generally does mixed media supplies, but we do get some embellishments and stamps and things in the set now, so it's pretty cool. Anyway, so every second month we get a kit set out with all different Colour Blast goodies in it, amongst some papers and things here, and some instructions on creating different layouts using the products that are in there. So this video is just showing you how that works. So what I showed you in the beginning is the booklet that comes each month with detailed explanations on how to, like, step by step, how to do these layouts. So I got this, I toyed around with this idea of getting this kit. It is worth the money. It's expensive, but it's worth it, and you get a big bulk lot of stuff. Because I like to do the mixed media, but I'm not always confident with it, so I thought this would be a really good way to step into that a little bit more. Try some different techniques using the Colour Blast products, and yeah, just having a bit of a go with some different bits and bobs, and that's what I've done. Now, I have to admit, having it step by step was a little daunting almost. When you sort of just do it to your own devices, it's sort of just like, yep. But I've done, this is the third layout I think I've done using the kit. I think it is. And yeah, I was a little bit weary of it. So, but anyway, I made it work. I just took a chill pill and just went, let's roll with it and see what happens. So as you can see there, this is the first, I think the papers are all from 7 Dot Studio. Can't remember the collection, but anyway, so as you can see there, the first instruction was just to tear off a 2 centimetre or whatever it was strip, just so it looked really rough and uneven. Now my thing was I was using my ruler, so it didn't rip. I stopped using my ruler here, as you can see, and it gets that sort of uneven rip, which is sort of what the book, the instructions, is calling for. So yeah. Now I think I'm just playing around with, I think you have to have 2, and I think, yeah, I just sort of, I don't know if it's this one or not, I give up measuring it and I just wing it. Who cares? And then we've got to tape, I've got to tape these blue bits behind, which were a bit tricky because they were all rolling up, as you can see there. But I ended up just laying some tape down and just, you know, as I said, I just sort of got to the point I was just like, you know what, just go with it. It's not like I've got to hand it in to be marked or anything like that. So as you can see, that's what I've got here. So that nice sort of roughed up sort of edge. Now I'm using the Colour Blast spray in the saffron colour. Yeah, just to add some lines to the page using a paintbrush. So in the kit, as I said, you get this instruction booklet, you get a whole heap of papers to create the different layouts in there. In February's one, we also got a bonus bit of cards to make cards as well, and there was a card challenge. I didn't quite get up to it. As you can see, it's April. I did this layout over the long weekend, so I still haven't quite done all of the layouts for it yet, and we're due to get a new kit sometime, hopefully this week. Always love the beginning of the month, and then the beginning of every second month when I get a whole heap of my kits delivered, which is really cool. But yeah, so as I said, and there was like you'll see me using them, stamp sets, die cut things, metal die cutters, kind of think. Yeah, and the instructions and all the papers. So it was it's pretty cool. Oh, and that's the other thing, you get a product guide on how to use each of the products in there, and the best way to store them as well, which is really good. So just using a Kaiser Crafts scripty type font stamp here, and my stays on ink, because obviously I'm using the wet sprays and things, you need to make sure that the ink is going to stay and not run around everywhere all over the page, so the stays on one, dries quick, and it's waterproof. And so just going to be randomly smushing that on the page somewhere all over the place. There are images, process images, so you can see where things are put. As I said, the first two ones I was really a bit tense, I guess you could say, because I was like, oh, it's not working. But this one I've just gone, okay, it says to do this, doesn't say where, just go for it, Amy, and do not overthink it, which I still struggled to not do. Alright, I might be just cleaning off my stamp. I do try and be really good with my stamps and use a stamp cleaner and clean them off. Can't say I always do it, but I try my best. Alright, so this cardstock is from Kaiser Craft as well. I think from Marie it's called Sea Foam. It's a really nice blue actually. And there's the metal dies that Colour Blast have. Now, again, the only issue I have is I don't have a big die cutting machine, so it's a bit of a bugger. So what I do is just improvise. As you can see here, I'm just going to draw the outline and cut it out. Now it doesn't have all that really fancy stitched pattern that is on the metal die, but it still cuts the banner shape out, and that's sort of the purpose of it all. And I think this coming month's one has like a big feather die, metal die in it. I'm not sure it'll go through my die cutting machine, so I'm not sure what I'll do there. Yeah. I'm just cutting it out wherever I've gone. Oh, there we go. And I think these are new to Colour Blast, that were only released this year that they're making. The metal dies and their own stamp sets, I think. I could be wrong. I haven't got a great deal of experience with Colour Blast, which is another reason I got this kit, because I thought it'd be a really good way to get, you know, touch base with all the different products and stuff, and, you know, try before you kind of really buy a whole heap of product. I know I love the texture paste. It's so smooth, and it just a little bit goes a long way, so that's always good. So again, just ripping this to give that real roughed edge. And I'm not sure if at the beginning there I will, bit of a disclaimer as such, I've changed my photo. I started with a large sort of photo, like a normal 4x6, but I couldn't cut it down, which it sort of needed to do. I'm not sure if I keep that in or not. So then I changed to a different photo that can be trimmed down a little bit, 4x6 photo that I could trim down a little bit without losing any of the image. And yeah, still suits the purpose. Alright, just playing around with this little black die cut piece. Oh, the sun got really bright. Actually, when I was doing this was Saturday afternoon, and it was quite warm here, and the sun was blaring through that window, and which was great for filming for a bit, but then it just got too much, too bright, too hot. I had to take a break because it was just like hot. But yeah. Alright, so I think I'm starting to adhere everything in place, I think. Yeah, there's the, so you can see me using the book there. So just sticking everything on top. I've just used normal craft glue, I think, to stick down the black circle die cut. And then I'm just using my double-sided tape. I had the paper, it looked like the wrong way round, so I just fiddled with it. And, you know, if it's not perfect, it's not perfect. You get the gist. Now, I have to say, I don't remember anyway, having any product from 7 Dot Studio before. I really liked the paper. They were a bit funky, very different to your usual sort of bright pattern kind of paper that I seem to always have. So yeah, that was really cool too, that I got to been able to give those a go as well. Well, I think I'm up to my photo now. Yeah, as you can see, I just trimmed this one down. I was using a landscape one that was a family photo that was taken over a few weeks back, but it was just too big. Like, I couldn't trim it down and it just took up too much room. So I've gone with this one of a photo from a few years ago of my son and I. It's very rare to get a really nice smiling photo of him. He's such a boy. He always looks pained when we try and take a picture. So just using some of the, I think it's a Tim Holtz brand tissue paper. I actually really like it. Thinking about getting some more, see if I can get my hands on some more, just to have in my little textured tissue paper collection box. And that black frame die cut, I just noticed that was my daughter. She'd been crafting next to me. The black die cut frame is also that came in the kit as well. And it sat really well on this photo, which is really cool, I was really happy with. Tissue paper to the back of the frame, and then just sticking that on with some glue. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you have checked out my Challenge Tuesday video, obviously, that went up a few days ago. Be sure to check it out if you haven't yet. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and thank you for popping by. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my crafty fun. I do try and pop up process videos at least maybe 2 to 4 times a week, depending on how I'm going. Yes, and so yeah, Tuesdays is a Challenge Tuesday, which is I pick a challenge from one of the scrapbooking places and do it, and this Friday one is usually an arty one, so mixed media-y, whatnot. I chose to do this one for the Friday video just because it is using a brand of mixed media products here in Australia. So I just thought it was a little bit different, and for those of you who may have seen the subscription kit advertised through Colour Blast and not sure, I guess here's a bit of a look at what you do and what you can do with everything and what you get and all those sorts of things. So yeah, for me it's an arty kind of video because this is outside of the scope of what I would normally probably do, which is perfect because that's what I'm trying to do this year, is step a little bit outside my scrapping comfort zone and get a little bit more messy and yeah, arty. So yeah, and on either one day over the weekend I do try and do a planner video. I don't always post those because sometimes they're just a bit, my life's not that exciting. But yes, I will try and do those, and sometimes I chuck in the bonus video if I've had time to do some extra scrapping. So yes, now this that I'm putting down is like a mesh kind of ribbon that was in the kit. Now I've trimmed off a little bit and then sprayed it with the saffron colour spray, and that's why it's gone that yellow colour. And I just trimmed it and made it look the way I wanted it to sit in both those spots on my layout. And then just sticking down this title, Remember the Good Times, again a die cut piece that came in the kit. Just sticking all of that down. I did have a bit of trouble, I think sticking the mesh down, it was a bit of a pain in the butt. So I ended up using, I think, glossy accents on it to get it to really adhere well to the page. I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's because it was because of the texture of it or because it was sprayed. I'm not sure. But now I'm using the Colour Blast stencil here with some of the Colour Blast Deep Water Texture Paste, just to print some butterflies on the layout. Now there is 2 in this layout instructions. There was only 2. I felt it needed 3, so I added a third one just because I can. And then I think I jotted some journaling down on it. So I'm not, I think. But I did forget to do some close-ups, so this is the layout all completed. I do hope... Oh, I add some extra splatters because I figured the yellow, there wasn't enough splatters on it. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my video. Don't forget to hit the like button. Leave me a comment or question if you've got any in the comments below. And I will see you again very soon with another process video. Thanks for stopping by. See you later. Bye.